Hi, I'm back, and I want to explain to you how these word problems work. Word problems aren't always a favorite with sixth graders, but sometimes there are strategies that you can use to help you out. Because these word problems have to do with greatest common factors and least common multiples, I'm going to recommend the best way to solve these if you don't understand them. If you understand them, then you go ahead and work on them the best way you know. So I'm going to go over two problems. Number one here. At a family reunion, each of Finn's aunts and uncles is getting photographed once. The aunts are taking pictures in groups of 3, so notice the number 3, and the uncles are taking pictures in groups of 10. So they're already in groups. If Finn has the same number of aunts and uncles, what is the minimum number of aunts that Finn must have? And you're going to say, I don't know whether to use the greatest common factor or least common multiple. So what we're going to do is we're going to solve for both. So we're going to do our grid method. We have 3 and we have 10. And you look at that and you say, wait a minute. There is no number that can go into 3 and 10. No number. So therefore, 3 and 10, they are relatively prime. There's only one number that can go into it. In this case here, the greatest common factor is 1. The least common multiple, because there's no other number but 3, these, you're going to multiply them. The least common multiple is 30. Now look at your answer. You have a 1 and you have a 3. Let's relook at the question. If Finn has the same number of aunts and uncles, what is the minimum number of aunts that Finn must have? Would the answer be 1? Well, that doesn't make sense because the aunts are taking pictures of groups of 3. So there's no way it could be 1. They already have groups of 3. The least common multiple has to be the answer, 30. Does that make sense? Groups of 3, yes, you could have 30. That would be 10. And then groups of 10, that would work for 30. So your answer then, you're going to rewrite your answer as what is the minimum number of aunts that Finn must have? 30 aunts is the minimum number. So you always make sure, minimum, you always make sure you have a label with your answer. So that is problem number 1. The other one I want to go over is problem number 3 on the back. Oliver is making trail mix out of 18 bags of nuts and 12 bags of dried fruit. He wants each new portion of trail mix to be identical, containing the same combination of bags of nuts and bags of dried fruit with no bags left over. So he's putting all of this into bags. What is the greatest number of portions of trail mix Oliver can make? So again, you're going to do the grid method. You're going to find the least common multiple and the GCF. I'm going to divide both by 2, you get 9, and you get 6. I'm going to divide both by 3, you get 3, and you get 2. So these are relatively prime, which means my GCF equals 2 times 3 is 6, and my least common multiple is 2 times 3 is 6. I have 6, 3 times 2 is 6, so 6 times 6 is 36. You're going to multiply these numbers together. Let's form our L for least common multiple. Now look at our answer. You have 18 bags of nuts, 12 bags of dried fruit. What is the greatest number of portions of trail mix Oliver can make? So he's going to take these bags of nuts and fruits and he's going to split them out to make bags out of them, portions out of them. 36, does that make sense? How can he make 36 when he only has 18 bags of nuts and 12 bags? There's no way you can make 36 out of them. So your answer has to be 6. 6 is the greatest portions of trail mix. This is just very similar to the pens and pencil activity we did in class. So in conclusion, when you solve these problems, you're going to find the greatest common factor and least common multiple for both numbers, which answer makes sense to solve the problem.